I'm Mike, founder of Wave, and I'm here to show off some of the cool new features that Wave Terminal has. We are building an open source cross-platform terminal for seamless workflow. So what we're trying to do is provide a lot of the conveniences of traditional applications and build those directly into the terminal. The first thing that you'll notice about Wave is that we have we have things separated into workspaces and tabs. And so to show that off, I'm going to create a new workspace. Here we go. New workspaces. Switching between workspaces is easy. You can just click over here, and there's also keyboard shortcuts to do that as well. Every workspace can have multiple tabs. Here, you can just easily create tabs. You can easily remove them. And every tab can be customized as well with a name. So I could say this is local dev. You can connect it to a remote machine over SSH. I'll show that feature a little bit later. And then you can also customize both the color and the icon for every tab. When you run commands, you run them just like a regular terminal. So I can run, I'll go to my Wave directory, and you'll see that there's always this command box at the bottom. And this lets you enter commands anytime. And once commands are run, each command is run in their own block. And that block only contains the output from every command. So I think it's almost as if every command is being run in its own TTY and has its own output segregated from the other commands. You'll also notice that when state changes, Wave will show you that new state in a little display at the bottom. So if I switch directories, so switching to the source directory, we'll see that the current working directory has been updated. This down here is also the current prompt. So this says where I'm connected. This shows my current Git branch, and then this shows the current working directory that I'm in. That prompt is also repeated up through all of the blocks, and that shows the prompt at the time when that command was run. One of the nice things about this is even if you have a very long running command, so let's say I say do find in node modules, which will display a ton of lines here. So really, this would completely destroy your terminal history. Normally, with Wave, that's just one block. And so now you can still scroll up and see your previous commands. And there's also keyboard shortcuts to cycle through those commands. So hitting return will get you to the last command, and then command up arrow and down arrow will easily select between the different blocks. So yeah, Wave organizes each command into a separate unit. One of the other things is we can track the success and failure of commands. So for instance, you'll see this green check mark, which means that the command has run and had a exit code of 0. I can show, so if we say sleep 5, when a command is running, you'll see it has this this icon that shows that the command is still running, and then it changes to a check mark when it's done. If I want to, so that's an example of a command that has succeeded. And then if I do which foo, which is a command that will find command line application and tell you what directory it's located in. When it doesn't find a command, it actually returns a non-zero exit code, which you can see here with this X, and that shows that the command failed. That can be really nice in order to see the status of commands. For instance, if a build fails, if or if a different process that you have a script and it fails, you can easily see that directly here. One of the other features that we have just built in this release. Oh no, that's in the new release. We'll also have a way to show all of the running commands. We have a way to show all of the currently running commands. Let me see if that. Oh, actually, it is. My bad. That was built into last release. So one of the things to show is if I have multiple commands running, you can see how many running commands are currently happening in the current tab that you're in. And then by clicking on this, you can filter to just see the actual running commands and quickly be able to find them or turn that filter off. The other cool piece of this is if you run a clear now, clear will only remove the commands that aren't running. So this is an easy way to find what's still running so you don't lose their context. Because each command is running separately, when you select this, this command and it has focus, you can see the focus by the green outline. Then you can interact with this just in general. So if I hit a Control-C here, that only applies to that one command, and all the input goes there. So it works. So you can run complicated commands as well. So like here's VI running directly inside of Wave, and you'll notice that each block will only grow to be as large as the screen currently is, and that is live resizing. So if I change the size of my Wave screen, it will actually pass to the underlying command and resize, say, that VI process that's running inside of it as well. But when this is selected, all the input, the keyboard input is going directly to this command. And when you're down here, that you can still have this running process, but input is now going to this input box. It's very easy to switch between the blocks and the input. Anytime, anywhere you are in Wave, if you hit Command I for input, you will switch to the input box and that will have focus. And then if you hit Command L, it gives focus to the lines. And so if I wanted to go back to my VI session, I could so if I'm focused in the input box, I can hit Command L and then do Command up to focus that. And now my keyboard input goes here. So, anytime when focus is in the input box, hitting return with nothing in the input box will just bring you back down to the bottom of the screen. One nice thing is that you can minimize the output from any command, so it makes it easier to look back at what's happening. So, for instance, if I run that really large find again, and I want to not see it, I can then minimize that down, and just like this VI session, I can also minimize that down. So now it's much easier to see what's going on in this session. Speaking of what's going on in the session, Wave has universal history and stores all of the history, obviously for each tab and then across tabs as well. So let me show that a little bit. If you hit Control R or click here, you can see a history view. And this history works very similar to how Bash history works. And you can select items by using up and down arrow in here. And when you hit enter, it will copy that command, put it into the command window, and then you can run it or edit it as you want. So do that, and now, and also without opening the history, of course, you can still hit up and down arrow to scroll through your history commands, just like you can in a regular terminal. One of the great parts of Wave, though, is that it can combine history from multiple tabs as well. So I'll switch tabs, and I can run ls and then and let's say I want to do a find for in wave search. Okay, and now if I switch back to this local dev tab and I hit Control R, I only see the commands that are local to this tab, which is normal. But if you hit Command S, you can now see all of the commands that were run in this workspace. And so here we can see the name of the tab. So S2, which was our previous tab. Here were all of the commands that were run there, and these are sorted in time order. And these are the commands that were run locally. So if I do another ls here, and then do that command R and S, now you can see this ls is in the history as well. And anytime you're in history, you can also just start typing to filter that history list down. So here are all my find commands that I ran for all the tabs that are in this workspace. Hitting Command S again will also let you do a global search across all of your workspaces. So do that more. Here's all of my finds that I've run across all of my workspaces. If you want even more control of a history, you can use the history feature. And this shows you all of the commands again across all of your workspaces. You can, of course, limit it down. And then you can limit to connection, and then you can also put some sort of some date filters as well. What's cool about this view is by clicking on this little arrow here, you can actually see the output in the context. And if you want to then go jump to that command, you can click here to jump directly to highlight that command in the tab where it was run. Okay. Okay, so auto completions. So in Wave, completions run natively. And so when I'm typing a command and then now when I hit tab, I can auto-complete any file name. So if I type S and then I type tab once, it will do any completion that it can do. If you hit tab again, it will show you all the completions that start with S. So if I type C and then hit tab, now it completes it completes that name. Tab auto completion works pretty much the same way that it would with the base installation of Bash. So again, you can see this. And we're going to work on additional types of completion. So this is currently completing files, but we'll also have ways to complete other types of completions as well. When you get normal command completion as well. So if you type L and hit tab, these are all the programs that can be run. Those show up like normal. And if you do slash, any of the slash commands that Wave has can also be tab completed. So this shows the full set of Wave slash commands, and they also complete as well. So there's one of the nice things about Wave slash commands is that you can control almost any aspect of the terminal using a slash command. And so anything that can be done in the UI or with the mouse can normally be done as well on the command line. So for instance, switching tabs to the second tab, I can do using command 2. And then command 3 can switch back here. But there's also a screen command. So screen, and then if I do 2, that switches to screen 2. And if I do screen 3, that switches back to screen 3. You can also switch by name. So screen S1, switch to here, and screen local dev, switch back here. one of the great things about using these blocks is that in Wave, each block can be formatted differently. Obviously, by default, they get formatted as a terminal view. So if I come here into the logos directory, public. So these are the Wave logos. If I do, if I cat the Wave logo, it just looks like garbage because this is a binary file. But Wave has viewers. And so I'm able to actually switch this to, say, an image viewer, and now it can be displayed right in line as an image. Let me try that with another file type. So again, I'll cat mod file. Oops. Oh, let's try that with mod. So this is my go mod file. If I want to see it as code in a code editor, I can switch to code edit, and now I get more of a code edit view as well. See what there. Oh, markdown. I just forgot that one. And so, viewing markdown can also be a pain in terminal. So when we view our README, you just see the text. You can easily switch that to, again, view it as actual markdown. And here we can actually see this rendered as real HTML with clickable links with GitHub flavored markdown directly inline in the terminal. Most of these viewer commands are best run directly from the command line. So there is view command. So in this case, it's slash mdview for markdown. With or without the slash will work. So here, so mdview, I can show the build instructions. And now I can see those directly online right here. A nice scrollable formatted container. Same thing with image view. So I could say image view, see public, logos, logo, and then we see directly online viewing image. Another great feature is the code editor. And so we're able to directly edit text files right in line. So here, code edit. See where is just editing the go.mod file. Oops. And here it is right in line, and you're able to come in here, make an edit, command S. This is a fully native editor. This is actually based on the Monaco editor from VS Code. You can copy and paste in here. So you can say copy, and then you can paste from the web, copy and paste this out into some other application. Edit it by just selecting with your mouse and then hitting Command S to save. So if I do this, Command S will save, and then Command D will close the editor right in line. And that will work both for local files and, of course, for remote files as well when you're connected. Anything else? Let's see. JSON. So there's also a code view for things. Yeah, good JSON, and that can give you a nice collapsible view of JSON that you can also easily copy and paste out of. Okay, you can also view CSVs directly in line with CSV view. Find one, node modules. And, there's a couple example files in here, I think. That's, let's see, sample CSV. And you can see it displays a nice table with the rows. Let me see if I can find another one. Um, um, here's an example of showing CSV. You can scroll easily inside of here. You can even sort by clicking on these table headers. And so you get inline sorting of the CSV. And one of the great parts about having this written natively is when you copy, and when you actually do this copy, it will copy just the values and you won't get all of these as text pieces. And so this will copy and paste directly into something like Excel or Google Sheets as a table, as opposed to with all of those separate pipe characters and dashes and all of that. That's it for the CSV stuff. Yeah. Wave also makes it really easy to connect to remote machines. And so we have this connections pane, which can list all of the machines. You can easily configure a new connection using new connection. You put the user host value, you can give an alias that's easier to type, port number. Auth mode is interesting. So a lot of times, if you require an SSH key, you select key and then just put the path to your key file right here. If you use a password, you can put your SSH password here as well. Recommend using keys. And we also have key and password. This is if you have a key file that requires a passphrase. In the future, we're planning on integrating directly with password managers as well, along with SSH agent. And with your SSH config file as well. Note that if you already have connections in your SSH config file and you've set up, say, an identity file, a key file in your SSH config, you actually don't need to list it here because we use the underlying SSH program directly. So you can just leave it as none. It will just work along with any of your other connection values that you've set up in SSH config. So I have a couple of these already set up. Here's let's see, a relay server that I have set up in EC2. So I can say connect now. And it will connect, and you can see it's connected with green. You don't have to come in here to connect them. If you've set the connect mode to auto, they'll auto connect whenever you use them. So this connection is called relay 01. It's in a bunch of machines in AWS. So if I switch back to my workspace, you can switch the connection by coming into settings and selecting relay 01. And so I'll say it's disconnected, but if I do an ls, it will auto connect. And now this ls was actually run against that relay 01 machine. And you can see it's different from that environment's completely different from my local environment. So mesh A, this is a Linux machine, and you can go back and easily switch connections back using this dropdown. And you can also do it with the CR command, which is like CD except changing remote. So CR to local will switch me back to my local machine. I think there's another alias for that as well. Connect. See if that's right. Connect to relay 01. Yeah. So if you say connect, that also will easily switch you between remote servers. And so this lets me quickly say type type something here, see like, okay, there's this foo sh file. So now I can CR back to local and then CP, let's see, onto that relay to /stage2 here in, oh, sorry. That's why it's easier to use connections. Great. And do the and easily switch between two or more different machines in one tab without losing context. Let's see. Let me switch back to the relay. And again, Codeedit and the editors work on remote machines just as they work on local machines as well. So if I do code edit new.sh, I can make a new, oh, I already had this. So I can edit this and say this is new. Hello world. Save this, close, and now if I run bash new.sh, it works directly. This is really great for configuring machines and for editing RC files remotely. Codeedit can be a great alternative that you can easily copy and paste, say, content from the web directly into an RC file on a remote machine. Okay, so one fun feature is you can change the icon of a tab using the selector here to any of these predefined selectors, but these are just names, and these are actually fontawesome names. So here I've changed it to Sparkle, shows this, but using the command line, you can also change the tab icon using screen set and say tab icon equals to any fontawesome icon. So it's here, tree. This changes it to a nice little tree, and they even have it's fontawesome tree. Let's get like a little festive tree as well. But you can use really any fontawesome pro icon. So here's gift, or even stocking. So you can definitely have fun with it and use whatever icon you like to show the context. Wave also has AI ability built right in, which we are expanding, but I'll show you the first couple of features that we have with AI. So I'll make a new tab, and using the / command chat, you can ask OpenAI any question that you could ask it directly in their web interface. So chat, what is the capital of California? And we get a streaming response back in Sacramento. And we can say chat. And because Wave can display markdown natively, it will display all of your ChatGPT responses in full markdown directly in line in your terminal. So I can say, let's see, show me the top 5 cities in California by population, show as a table with city name and population. And so we get a nice markdown inline table shown directly. Obviously, for the command line, it can be useful to look up CLI commands. So you could say chat, what is the flag to pass to ls to sort files in first size order? Yeah, -S. So if I went to work, Wave can do an ls-l, ls-S, oops, -L and sure enough, they're sorted in reverse size order. This can be very useful to just get information really quickly about commands summarized. So chat and over the and here's a nice little ChatGPT summary that then you can copy and paste easily. copy, and then paste it directly in here. And, because this is a full text editor, you can easily just come in here and edit and replace things as you want. So ChatGPT can also help you write quick shell scripts. So chat, how can I output blue text in the terminal? So here's an example of ChatGPT giving me a nice paste that into the terminal. That didn't look. Oh, that's Python. Okay, let's try that again. Internal using bash. Okay, there we go. So let's see if we copy this, paste that line, and there we go, blue text. This can also, you can combine these two with Codeedit. So if I say Codeedit script sh, I can then say copy the script, paste it directly into here, save that, and now bash script. And we get that directly. So the ChatGPT settings are located in just the general settings. You can bring your own OpenAI token if you would like. You can change the model name here, change the max tokens. And then if you want to change the ChatGPT base URL, you can actually use that using a / command. So it would be client set OpenAI base URL, and then you can put your base URL of either a private model or a different ChatGPT enterprise model that you have fine-tuned right here. If it needs to be escaped, you can also quote it. And that will override the base URL that we use to send those ChatGPT requests. By default, if you don't bring your own key, we will proxy that through our servers with a rate limit. But if you need to use a different model, a fine-tuned model, don't want to proxy that through our servers, then you can easily update your settings as I've shown. And I think that's one of the things that we're excited about with Wave is that we are trying to make an open platform and want to interface with all sorts of different AI models, and not lock you into either our implementation or OpenAI's implementation. Okay, so one of the great things about Wave is that all of your tabs and environments are persistent. So that means that everything I have in these tabs, if I shut down Wave and then restart Wave, or if I shut down my computer, restart my computer, and then restart Wave, everything will show back up exactly as it was before. So you will have complete context, your directories will be saved, your environment variables will be saved. So if I export x equals 5 here, and I can export x equals 2 here, even if you shut down, restart, x will be set to 55 in this tab and will be set to 22 in this tab. That works both for local connections and for remote. So if I start a new here, I connect to my relay machine, ls, and I move to the snap directory and I export x equals 11 here. No matter what happens, x will be set to that, even again, if I shut down Wave and restart Wave. Other things that persisted are history. So here, if I hit Control R, I have the 4 commands I run here in my history. And over here, I have my commands I've run in history for this tab. This is really cool because normally when you're machine gets rebooted or you restart your terminal, all of those history, there's only usually one history file for Bash or ZSH. So once you shut down, all of that history between all of your tabs and all of your sessions gets munged together. In Wave, they'll always be separate, no matter what. And of course, you can still combine them if you want by doing the Command S to combine for your entire workspace, or hitting Command S again to combine for the entire application.